Of PlayVS Fortnite action. Trio of Junie, Siri, and Lasix taken to the skies once again here. And as of right now, I think it's going to be a little bit busier than normal. Hello, Fishbones coming in hot, maybe possibly contesting the Saints. And I mean, it's been pretty hit or miss so far. Saints, I think basically 1-1 or a 1-win, 1-loss in regards to early engagements so far. Just trying to see if any of the teams are going to actually pull back. It doesn't look, or maybe one of them actually did. We'll have to see in a second. None of the Saints squad were able to land on the roof. Lasic's going to try and build his way all the way up there. Junie going to take the low side of things. Going to have Siri instantly going to take the car. Does not want the opposing squad to get all that free shielding. So he's just going to take it for himself. Junie does have a shotgun available to contest if necessary, but it looks like that other team did just kind of pull back for at least a moment. So a little bit of a breather here for St. Clair to start this off, but they have to know that there's going to be a team pretty much right on their tail as soon as they turn their backs. Okay, Siri gets himself in a little bit of a mess here. Does find maybe one of those teams. He's going to find himself a nice knockdown, but he has to be careful enough to find himself an opponent. Sure enough, it's going to be the case, but he was ready for it. Finds himself another one. One knockdown successful. There's the elimination. Just have to find ourselves another one. Siri may have been the one getting jumped on, but he's the one finishing the job here. As long as they could find the other player as well. There, the player is going to take care of that one. So for sure, a solid start here for St. Clair. They knew that there would be somebody nearby ready to contest at a moment's notice, and they absolutely light them up for free, not taking a whole heck of a lot of damage. Nicely executed. Ever since that early engagement, it's been rather quiet here for all of our Saints squad as they continue to take their time looting everything up, going through Sweaty Sands, where I think the first time here today, one of the few places basically untouched from the last patch for the most part. Maybe a few NPCs moved or something, but relatively similar looking nonetheless. And of course, it's always up in this area where things have changed. Of course, constantly full of nature, trees absolutely everywhere. No more anime crystals, as I called it during the last season. No more Guilty Gear air dashes. Taking that out of the game for some more standard battle royale style, a little bit more realistic. Here's some shots in the background and some buildings actually in the left-hand side here, right in view here of Junie. Saints in position to possibly third-party in onto this engagement. They very well might want to go for it. You can see the players crawling on through, and Siri's going to be the one getting first hand. He's waiting for his shots, waiting until he can actually pull it off, but a good spin around, good build on the side of that other player up there. Good shields getting taken down off of the one player. However, still, of course, in the shields and not terrible as of this moment. Siri going to make his move in. Junie's right behind as well. Lasix trailing behind, but still right there for the covering fire. Lots of shots fired. Is anybody paying attention to this wall? Sure enough, the player inside was ready and waiting. Multiple shotgun blasts. There's Lasix as well. Good shot here onto Siri, losing basically the majority of his shields as this moment. Unfortunately for the Saints, it may have been a little bit too little too late in regards to getting themselves a third party, but now that one of the teams are down, maybe they can do a little bit of a cleanup job here on the other team. Big shotgun blast going to really nuke Siri down for a lot of health. Junie and Lasix are going to probably have to try to hold this one off for at least a little bit. Lasix is going to go down. Huge play here from the player inside this, and that's going to be Lasix going down completely. Not going to be able to keep going here in this game. They went for it, but not quite going to find it. And actually, big props to Lasix and Junie. They were the ones who were able to clean up some of the other players. I thought the Saints didn't get exactly a part of that, but they absolutely must have. I see 4 points here on the board here for the Saints as of this moment anyway. Junie taken down to pretty low health. Basically 37 left on the block for him. He does have access to a first aid kit, so he could very well use that. Siri still on the hunt right by the bridge. Saints don't have to move this second anyway, but that being said, very shortly, Storm will be coming on through. They're going to have to make their move again. Saints definitely still have to be careful. Someone ran a corner. Siri could have himself to jump on somebody. Getting a lot of white. Does knock somebody down. Low on health, however. Can he find himself the finishing blow? Where is Junie? Can he find it for him? Maybe, maybe not in this situation. Siri looking from above. Not quite going to be able to find him as of yet. Junie hunting on through, but can't quite find it. He's going to eat a ton of damage, however. Going to have to run away at this point. Siri, though, from the other angle, able to find the knockdown. They just need some sort of finishing blow. Does spot the player trying to take a ride through the river, but is going to be taken down. That's elimination number 6 now here for St. Clair. Make that 7. It does look like the last player ended up being finished off after all. There's still one more, however. A little bit messy here. We do see Junie knocked down, but Siri, where is he going to pop on up? Can he get here in time? Not in time to save Junie, but there's another huge shotgun shot to the face. Not going to happen. That's going to be 9th place here for Saints. Wow, the fact that they're in the top 10 that early really goes to show how aggressive some of these teams are playing in the later stages of this series. And I don't blame the Saints for trying to get aggressive. They have one more opportunity to take a swing at one more round here in the Play vs. Fortnite Trios for Week 3, because we are about 5 minutes away from matchmaking closing. So they really wanted to make sure they went out here with a bang and didn't want to stall out a game where they were already down a couple players. Biggest mistake ever was having the cat jump onto my lap amid broadcast, and now I feel like I have cat fur everywhere. F's in chat for shedding season. Let's take a look at our leaderboard here. If the Saints were in the they're in 335 as of this moment. Gonna refresh the Fortnite tracker to see exactly where we stand. 335 should break us into top 10 as of right now. So, Saints definitely coming along. Game 3 and 4 were definitely a bit rough, but ever since then, they've been able to get themselves at least some high kill games or some well-placed games, like 2 second-place runner-up finishes, of course, and then 1 7th-place position, and then the 9th here in this last one. Even though it was super early, but that will do. We'll definitely take that for sure. And we are getting ready to load in to what is likely going to be our final game here of the night. Just waiting for a couple more players to fill out the lobby. So before we do, of course, head into the action, big thank you to everybody for tuning in to the Fortnite broadcast here tonight. Of course, I do apologize if I'm a little quieter than usual. I'm slightly losing my voice, but try my best to still make it as entertaining as possible for everybody tuning in. I know Fortnite can sometimes be a lot to take in all at once, especially since there is the whole brand new map, brand new patch, lots of stuff for us to learn together. Heck, I don't have everything under or completely figured out as well, so we're all learning together here. And of course, big thank you to our sponsors that make this all happen: St. Clair College, Suckman School of Business and Information Technology, EC Outlet, Tim Hortons, St. Clair SRC, as well as the St. Clair College Alumni Association. Thank you so much for having us and supporting us, of course, here in the St. Clair Saints varsity sports team. Of course, while we are still loading in, I actually also want to throw something else at you guys. Make sure you do check out our merch store, as it is currently being updated. More and more new stuff around the corner, whether it be the jacket, similar to like the one that I am wearing right here, right now, sweaters, t-shirts, masks, and many more to come. Acquire.ca/Saints is where you can pick one up for yourself. Make sure you pick one of these up for springtime. It's actually really nice. Definitely recommend. Ooh. Saints are loading on in right here, right now, right around the corner. So while we do load on in one more time, do want to go over our schedule for the stuff that is going to be coming up in the next couple of days, because we do have, of course, tomorrow at 5:30, NECC Overwatch action. Chatty and Seymour are going to be bringing you the action there for that matchup. It should be an exciting one. Overwatch squad, basically the upper middle of the pack, looking to see how far they can push here this season. Then tomorrow for Play vs. Rocket League, 8 o'clock and 9:15 season opening matches for our Rocket League squad. Then on Friday, we do have some collegiate Hearthstone action, Hearthstone Collegiate Championships. Saturday, we do have the Activision Blizzard Collegiate Cold War matchup at 7. The season finale for Face It CSGO Contenders League, Sunday at 5. But without further ado, let's hop into what is likely going to be the final matchup of the day, unless something absolutely bonkers happens within the first minute of this game starting. Looks like to start things out, this one will be a nice quiet start here for St. Clair. Nobody really going to be here to contest them. Load up on shields right away and start going for some weapons. And there's a nice little start there for Siri. Nice little purple primal shotgun ready and waiting. Probably just begging for somebody. Don't try to hunt them down now. And we're going to have ourselves a little bit of action. Why don't we here for our final matchup of the evening? Siri has the high ground, and it looks like this other team just basically completely turtling, and it's going to leave them absolutely wide open here for Siri to just have open season on basically whomever he pleases. They're going to try and make a run for it, going to get instantly knocked down, tried to make the run for the car. Not going to happen. Siri is going point blank. Of course, he's got that purple shotgun. He wants to play, and he's going to try and hunt them down. One more knock, looking for another. Team wiped. Beautifully done there from St. Clair. That is how you start off a game. You have all the time in the world to farm up, and then the engagement goes absolutely swimmingly here for the side of St. Clair. Very well might not be over yet either. A couple pot shots being shot over to the far side. Not finding anybody too severely, but almost catching them. And with this storm location, Saints have the perfect opportunity to take all the time in the world they wish. Farm up as much as possible. They don't have to worry about going anywhere. This is exactly how you want it to be done. Eventually, of course, once this first storm moves in, probably start thinking about trying to center up here with the next side of the storm. Build yourself a fort and see if maybe you can catch a couple stragglers going into the next time by. That's what I like to see in the chat. Absolutely. Looking forward to seeing the Saints finish strong. Of course, if you're probably just catching that last battle as well. Definitely a feel-good moment so far here for the Saints to start off this final game of the evening. Already content knowing the fact that they've got themselves a couple points via eliminations, but of course they're going to want as many more as possible. I would really love to say that the Saints had 10 kills on the board right now and not just be a memer, but we'll have to see if they can get there. The storm closing on in. Where in the world is it going to end up going here? We see the Saints ready to make a move towards the middle, but it depends if the storm actually cooperates with exactly what they're doing. How far do they have to move? It looks like they are going to have to get going here. So, true enough, pretty much dead center. Siri, marking the spot. That is where they're going to start looking to transition on over to. Looks like we already have. What in the world is Junie doing way over here, playing in the storm as of right now? Specifically to try and pick up one of those specific upgrades from probably a specific NPC. I'm not 100% sure as to that one. I'm guessing that would have to be the situation here. Unfortunately there for Junie. Kind of stuck taking the long way around to get himself back into safe zone. Here comes good guy Lasix with the Rocket League car on his way through. They're going to have to top themselves off a little bit, but there are, of course, first aid kits right there ready and available, so they'll be okay. I'm very surprised with how confident Saints are playing going into this one. You normally will not see them split up this far. Like, the fact that Siri's already in the safe zone and Lasix and Junie are still basically at where they landed. That's very unusual from the Saints side of things. Hopefully for Siri, he's not getting a little bit too overzealous. I know he loves to go in, but at the same time, has to make sure he has his backup available. I don't care how good you are. If you end up getting ganged up on with 3 people who have shotguns to your face, you're probably not winning that battle. A little bit of a long shot there coming from the sweaty sands. Somebody opening fire down there on, I believe it was Junie, who got tagged up for a little bit of shield damage. Now, the nice thing here for Siri specifically, all the way up on this gigantic sniper tower of sorts, this gigantic spire, is going to be shot at, but it would have to be from somebody else who's on the high ground. Who else is looking at him in that situation? We'll have to find out. He's going to pass around as much healing as possible here. And and then just launch themselves right into the drink. As the Saints run across the river, they will be spotting a couple of teams right above them on the bridge, firing back and forth with each other, and right down the river as well. Possibly another team. Siri nearly had to jump onto somebody who was right around the corner, who fell off of the bridge. But we're going to have to see if maybe Siri or somebody else on the side of the Saints can pull off a successful third-party scenario. He's taking his time, really looking for it. Junie going to come join up here with Lasix. And okay, Siri's right around the corner as well. So the gang's all here. When is the time to strike? Bit of a nasty engage here against the Saints building, but Siri and the rest of the Saints going to be able to keep this all cleaned up, keep it all fortified for at least the moment. Junie taking himself a little bit of shield damage, but nothing too significant. With the Eye of the Storm showing a new location, it's not in a spot that the Saints have to really move around for. That being said, they're going to try and crawl through the buildings, try and get to as centered into the safe zone, into the Eye of the Storm as possible. But as we can see, the closer and closer they start moving in, constantly getting peppered and barraged here by some sort of assault rifle bullets. Which is definitely nerve-wracking here for the Saints, considering all these resources that they are blowing now are resources that they will not have later on in the game. Some shots fired close, however, nothing making contact with anybody. Players spotted out here. It's possibly looking to make their move, just fortify up a little bit longer. Sure, they do not want to rush anything. Still quite a few players left in this game, 67 to be specific. See here from Siri's point of view, teams all around the St. Clair squad taking shots at each other. That being said, still 67 people in this game. Not much effectiveness, not much actually making any contact. Now that the storm's moved in, this next storm location is going to force the St. Clair squad to move a little bit. Don't have to move too far, but that being said, with so many players in such a small place, even moving just a tiny bit is going to be difficult, as we can see pretty much in the buildings right in front of the St. Clair squad. Team ready and waiting. Lots of shots fired. Nothing making contact, at least for the side of Siri. There we go. Does end up finding himself a quick 50. Somebody wounded, but not quite down. It might be the opportunity now for Siri to say to the rest of the Saints, just time to go in. Lasix and Hajuni on the run. After clearing their path, they were able to get themselves inside of the Eye of the Storm. Storm closes on in. They're going to be A-okay for the next minute or so. That being said, their relief will be short-lived, as the storm will then shrink once again. The Saints themselves might be rather safe, but all around them, players are falling. We were at about 67 just a few moments ago. Now down to 55. And bodies just keep on dropping. But as they look out the building, you can see just towers upon towers. Players and players. How do you actually make a move onto this? It beats me. Maybe you don't have to make a move at all with this storm so small up in the very southwest corner of the map. Saints don't have to move at all. Player out in the open getting completely lit upon. That being said, none of these shots actually seem to be making contact here for Siri until about now. They make the run, they try to cover themselves up, but as they cross the river, everybody still seems to be up. Saints still with a very strong position, don't have to move at all. Storm coming in 20 seconds though, and then this fort may not exactly be where they want to be for very long anyway. Oh, how quickly the game state can change here, where we were at 55. We are now sitting at 38. Saints still solid position, but now with the storm going to just completely yeet itself across the map, it feels like. Saints getting ready to move. Junie, Lasix, and Siri on the way right here right now. A little bit of a troll build coming out here. I don't know if that was Siri who planted that or somebody else, but they are going to be being shot upon from multiple directions. Messy finish to this one. Beautiful shot here for Junie, or for Lasix, however. Gonna make things a little bit messy. Everybody from Saints still standing until Lasix and Junie both go down at the same time. Siri gonna be short to follow. And how quickly that game seems like they're actually in a solid position. The game just completely closes on out. Unfortunately, there for the Saints side of things, but they do manage to get themselves inside the top 15. And with that, they are going to be finishing off the night with a score of 377, which as of right now will put them in the top 20. However, there's probably still a couple of games still just around the corner from finishing off. And that will be it in regards to the matches here tonight. But of course, still plenty of action right around the corner in the upcoming days. I want to quickly throw it to the schedule because we did make a very, very quick update. As of course, we didn't know exactly 100% which league the Hearthstone match on Friday was, but that is actually the Activision Blizzard Hearthstone Collegiate Championships. So that's what's going to be played on Friday at 8 o'clock. There would be then a Collegiate R6 match, but we've been told we cannot stream that match this time by our opponents. So it is what it is. We will get you the results on that one via our Twitter as soon as possible, of course. And of course, running it down one more time, NECC Overwatch tomorrow at 5:30. Doubleheader then of Rocket League later on that night, 8 o'clock, and then 9:30 rather. Then, of course, Friday we got Hearthstone Collegiate Championships. Saturday at 7 we have Activision Blizzard Collegiate Cold War. Then the season finale for the Face It CSGO Contenders League, Sunday at 5. But a solid showing here for the Saints overall. Not necessarily their best of the season so far, but still over 100 and some odd entries here in the PlayVS Collegiate Fortnite Trios. And yet our team is constantly, week in, week out, within the top 20. Personally, definitely proud of that. And especially being able to pull off such a solid run when the map has completely changed by basically just modifying the strategy that you were kind of already using and making it work. Whenever they were challenged early, it was a little bit hit or miss. However, especially near the end of the series of matches tonight, they were able to pull a couple of solid engagements in their favor. They got aggressive, were able to figure it out. Even if it meant Siri hit his knees for a couple seconds, the rest of the team were able to clean up and pick him back up afterwards. Let his aggressive playstyle pay off. That was an overall pretty solid day. With that being said, of course, one more time, let's give out a couple thank yous. First off to everybody for tuning in and supporting your Fortnite squad here on the Saints Gaming CA channel. Thank you for joining us. Then, of course, big thank you to the sponsors, Supplement School of Business of Information Technology, St. Clair College, Tim Hortons, PC Outlet, St. Clair College Alumni Association, and the St. Clair SRC. Thank you for sponsoring us here at the St. Clair Saints Varsity Esports team. Definitely could not do without you. Of course, one more time, make sure you take a look at our Acquire store, acquire.ca/Saints, to pick up spring jacket, very similar to what I'm wearing right now. Maybe snag yourself a sweater, t-shirt, jersey, mask, and plenty more to come. A link shown on your screen right there, right now. Make sure you get a piece of it. Represent your Saints in style, while also being rather comfy, I will admit. Of course, big thank you again for everyone tuning in. I know this may not have been my most energetic of streams, but I thank you for joining me nonetheless. Hopefully still entertained you just a little bit here tonight, especially with the show that the Saints were putting on here today. A couple ups and downs, but still finishing up in the top 20 is still an absolutely fantastic night nonetheless. Of course, if you wish to follow any of my personal antics on Twitter, that'll be, as you see below on my tag there, at Mr_Danners. And of course, you'll probably be seeing more of me very, very shortly. Of course, being the producer here, anytime there is an empty slot on stream, you will definitely see me. But at the same time, these streams are also opportunities for students of St. Clair that do want to start leveling up their ability in broadcasting. So whether you want to be an observer, whether you want to be a commentator, or possibly even a director one day, join our Saints Discord and message me. And we can get you started as soon as possible, regardless of what your experience is. If you're serious about leveling up as a caster, observer, or somewhere in regards to streaming, I'll gladly help you and give you opportunity. Be sure to let me know. But with that, we shall close out for tonight. Thank you again for everybody tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow for our extremely busy Thursday, starting off with NECC Overwatch and finishing off with Rocket League.